One of the fastest ways to lose marks in IELTS Task 1 is trying to sound too clever. Examiners see long, complicated sentences every day, and most of them lower the score instead of raising it. If your grammar feels advanced but your band is stuck at the same level, sentence structure is usually the reason. So the core problem here is that strong English learners can often get stuck at band 6. The belief is that longer sentences equal a higher score. The reality is that complexity increases errors. You need to remember that examiners are reading quickly. They're not admiring fancy grammar. And grammatical range doesn't mean complicated sentences. The assessment focus is always clarity first, accuracy second, range third, and only when controlled. Simple plus accurate is confidence. Complex plus error prone is a lack of control, and you will be penalized for this. So let's talk about some of the main mistakes. So mistake number 1 is avoiding simple sentences. Candidates sometimes think that simple sentences can sound a bit childish, and they are trying to combine everything way too early. The result is that you can lose clarity very quickly just when you're introducing the data. Examiners always prefer one clear idea, one clear trend at a time. The insight to remember here is that simple sentences anchor understanding. Mistake number 2 is forcing compound sentences everywhere. What I mean by this is linking unrelated ideas with and, while, but. This often creates weak or confusing comparisons. And the result is that sentences will often feel heavy and repetitive. The examiner's expectation is that you compound only when ideas are closely linked. So the point to remember here is if they are related ideas, combine. If they are separate ideas, then they belong in separate sentences. Mistake number 3 is using complex sentences too early. This can mean jumping to subordinate clauses way too early, immediately, even when the meaning is not established yet. The common issues that this can cause are unclear references, tense confusion, punctuation errors. The examiner's behavior is that they will penalize before rewarding. So the insight here is trend first, context later. Mistake number 4 is misusing time clauses. This can mean mixing past and present tense, overcomplicated time references, writing year by year instead of progression. The examiner's expectation is consistent tense and smooth flow. So the key contrast here is separate dates versus organized time movement. Mistake number 5 is overloading one sentence. You've got trend plus comparison plus time plus explanation all together. This sentence would be very hard to read aloud. And of course, your accuracy is going to drop under exam pressure. The examiner's preference will always be 2 clear sentences over one messy one. So the rule to remember, if it's hard to say, it's too complex. Mistake number 6 is overusing relative clauses. This can mean adding detail that doesn't help. It can make sentences feel very heavy, and the reader will probably lose the main point that you are trying to make in the first place. The examiner's expectation is that relative clauses are used only when clarification matters. The insight for you to remember here is that relative clauses are an optional tool, not a requirement. Now I've got a couple of prepared examples here. One is a band 5 to 6 sentence, and one is a band 7+ example. So let's go through each of them and we can look at the differences. The band 5 to 6 example. The number of visitors increased significantly, which shows that tourism became more popular, while the figures for local travel also rose during the same period. Now the Band 7+ example. The number of visitors increased over the period. By contrast, local travel also rose, but at a slower rate. So why did the higher band version score better? Let's go through the reasons. The ideas are separated clearly. The comparison is easy to follow. It has 2 controlled sentence types. No unnecessary clauses. The accuracy here is easier to maintain, and the examiner can read this effortlessly. A quick check. Which version would an examiner prefer? A long sentence that includes everything, or 2 shorter sentences that guide the reader clearly? The answer is always the clearer option. Examiners reward control, not ambition. To conclude, sentence structure is a strategic choice. You should use simple sentences to introduce data. Then you can use compound sentences to make comparisons. Complex sentences can be used to add context carefully. High band answers will mix structures naturally. And you must always remember the examiner's alignment here. Number 1, clarity. Number 2, accuracy. And only then number 3, range, with control. If you found this video helpful, I've linked the full article below, as well as lots of other Task 1 related lessons. They cover sentence control, comparison language, and examiner marking logic. And this is all on the Learn English Weekly website. Those guides show these structures in real answers, so you can apply them into your own writing. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.